You know, when I look at a little piece like this, it doesn't seem too heavy, you know, almost like you could just flip it up and put it in your backpack. But if DC was ever destroyed and they need to rebuild it, this is where they should come first, to Marble, Colorado, the place that cut, carved, chiseled, shaped all of the marble for our nation's capital. Today I'm in the Gunnison National Forest in Colorado looking for something pretty interesting. I grew up in Virginia and was well aware that most of the buildings in DC were made of marble, but like many of you, you may not know where that marble came from. Well, it came from right in these mountains for a marble quarry that's way up in those hills. So that's my goal for today. I'm going to try to get way up in those hills, try to find this marble quarry and see some of the pieces that were used to build the Lincoln Memorial, the Washington Monument. A lot of the buildings in the DC area came from marble mined right in these mountains. And from what I've seen, there's some big chunks of pillars and pieces that you might recognize as something that would go into a building in the DC area, that sort of Greek neoclassical architectural style. The closer I get to the marble mill, the more just massive chunks of marble I see lying along the side of the road. Look at this. Some huge slabs of partially worked marble. They're just sitting in the middle of nowhere. It's a giant slice of a pillar. Looks like a massive gear. Today we're diving into the rich history of the marble mill in Colorado, a site that's been integral to the town of Marble since the late 19th century. It all began in 1873 when geologist Sir Vestal Richardson discovered marble in the Crystal River Valley. In 1905, a shift occurred when a man named Channing Meek took over the marble deposits and formed the Colorado Ewell Marble Company, or CYMC. This marked the beginning of a new era for marble quarrying with improved infrastructure and investment. The CYMC developed an integrated operation connecting the quarry to the mill site with a complex transportation system. Mine blocks were lowered from the quarry via electric hoists and transported down to the mill. Inside the mill, the marble was cut and shaped with advanced machinery. By 1914, the quarry had expanded to 3 large caverns. The CYMC utilized innovative techniques for marble transportation and export. The 50-ton electric hoist and electric tram system played crucial roles in moving marble from the quarry to the mill. At the mill, the marble was transformed into a variety of finished products. This expansive mill, the largest of its kind under one roof, covered 108,000 square feet. One of the most famous uses of Colorado Ewell marble is the Lincoln Memorial in Washington D.C. The columns of the memorial, with their grandeur and beauty, are made from drums of marble quarried from this very same site we've been discussing. These columns are not just structural elements, they are works of art, each carved from the pristine white marble of Colorado. Now, of everything I found at this marble mill, and I'm going to walk you around the whole place, this is probably the most amazing thing I found. Look at this column here. It's a slice of the Lincoln Memorial's pillars. As you can see on the right, there's an original photograph showing how the Lincoln Memorial's pillars are made of these drum sections, individual slices. I always thought that the pillars were made out of one big piece, but as you can see here, it's actually stacks and stacks of these slices, or drums as they called them. You know, when I look at a little piece like this, it doesn't seem too heavy, you know, almost like you could just flip it up and put it in your backpack. But let's see if I can even budge it. I'm pretty sure I can't, but, you know, let's see. Oh! Yeah. I was able to budge it, but that's got to be like my max amount of strength. So that's probably at least 200, 225, I would say, just from the feel of how hefty it is to move. But what a nice piece! Look at that, perfectly cut, perfectly smooth, and just landed. At first glance, I thought this was sand. But no, it's a big pile of marble dust from all that marble sawing. So probably somewhere right around here is where a majority of the marble was cut, I would say. It's just perfect, fine marble sand. Wow. Alright, now this is kind of interesting. Looks like a little building is back here and completely made out of marble slabs. Let's see if we can see up in it. Wow. When this thing was first built, it must have just been incredibly stout. All this marble holding it together. And then it fell down somehow. Look at those abandoned sculptures out here.